The Battle of Camp Bastion was fought in Helmand province, Afghanistan on the 14th to the 15th of September 2012. Bastion's location had been used by the Soviet Army in the 1980s, and more recently as a NATO Special Forces outpost. Therefore, the NATO main operating base's location in Helmand was already known to be A. strategic, and B. easy to defend. Construction began in 2005, and British commanders were so confident of its impregnability, they decided to call it Bastion. But Camp Bastion did get impregnated. 15 Taliban Special Forces soldiers breached Camp Bastion's defences here on the evening of Friday, the 14th of September 2012. Before sunrise the next morning, 14 of the attackers and 2 US Marines had been killed in action, and $400 million of military kit had been destroyed inside the NATO main operating base. They launched their attack from the outskirts of the highly controversial Nawabad village, a new settlement that had been established on Bastion's southeastern perimeter, marked here in green. I have determined, in fact I predicted 7 days before the attack, that the exact launch point was here, on the mud track between Nawabad village and 600 metres of unsecured earthworks that ran right up to Bastion's defences. From subsequent investigations, we know the exact breach point was 250 metres south of Guard Tower 17, which corresponds with the launch point I've determined. How do I know so much about the attack? I was serving with the British Army in 2012, based in Camp Bastion from April to October, and did multiple guard duties in Tower 11 on the southeastern corner of the airfield. These photos show my view of those unsecured earthworks from Guard Tower 11 on the 7th of September, 7 days before the Taliban's attack. I've marked a motorcyclist and his direction of travel to show the proximity of the mud track to the unsecured earthworks. One of my many concerns on that last guard duty before the attack was the shepherd tending his flock so close to those earthworks. Over the previous 5 months of guard duties I'd never seen the flock of sheep taken that far north. Previously they'd been kept within the bounds of Nawabad village, or taken east, away from the perimeter. This was just one of many signs I saw on that last guard duty of our defences being reconnoitred and surveyed, but, as had happened throughout that summer, the guard commander's response to my reporting these concerns was to tell me, "Don't worry so much, and, don't worry, Mohammed Dawood controls this valley." There was someone else who used those earthworks as cover that September, profiteering British Army officers. Just 3 days before the Taliban's attack, on the 11th of September, British Defence Secretary Philip Helmand visited Camp Bastion. One of his tasks was to approve the purchase of more Foxhound-protected patrol vehicles, but there was a problem with the Foxhound. They kept breaking down in hot weather. But desperate to pass this £400 million procurement deal, regardless of the Foxhound being operationally defunct, British officers, contractors and suppliers all colluded to deceive the British government's Defence Secretary. Philip Helmand had to see the Foxhounds in operation before returning to Parliament to approve additional expenditure on the vehicles, and so a staged patrol was set up along the mud track running beside Bastion for Mr Helmand to watch from an airfield guard tower. What Helmand didn't know is that hidden out of sight were 2 32-ton recovery vehicles, ready to rescue any of the Foxhounds on the staged patrol that overheated and broke down, as they were prone to do. It was the recovery mechanics who I did top cover duties for who told me they'd been part of the deception, parked behind some earthworks 4 hours before Helmand arrived at the guard tower to view the staged patrol. Given the earthwork in my photo was the only one of significant size in the valley, enough to hide a 32-ton recovery vehicle behind, it seems certain that they were the earthworks used to deceive a government minister into approving the purchase of more £1 million each Foxhound vehicles. And for the record, the Foxhound vehicles' overheating problems were never fixed, hence this 2017 headline about Foxhounds still overheating and breaking down in hot weather.